Okay. Today we will start to talk about reproduction. Okay. We're supposed to be familiar with that word. Okay. We learned about reproduction as a characteristic of living things. Who can define the word reproduction? Okay, Mu'taz,
Yes, miss.
define the word reproduction.
The passing of genetic traits on to offsprings.
What did you say? Say it again.
The passing of genetic traits to an offspring.
Um, this is inheritance. This definition is
Oh,
inheritance. But reproduction, ability to make more individual of the same kind or species, right? So reproduction is the
yeah.
ability to make more individual, okay, from same kind or species. You got it? يعني I got one cat. This cat got mated with a male cat. Then we have many cats, become 5, become 6, become 10, 20, right? You have one plant. It gave a lot of seeds. I took the seed and germinate all of these seeds. With production as a part. You got my point? Hmm?
The passing of genetic traits on to offspring.
Sorry, I had to mute you because I hear repeat of the sounds. Okay? طيب. I'm opening the chat. So if any doubt or I will receive your answer through the chat. Clear? Yes, I will explain this part. Right? So this is the meaning of the word reproduction when we say to make more individuals from the same kind, or we better to say same species. Okay? This reproduction could be divided, or there are two types of reproduction. Okay, so if I can divide the reproduction into two different types, right? Sexual reproduction and the other one which is asexual reproduction. What is the difference between these two types of reproduction? sexual and asexual reproduction. Okay. Let me go to the asexual reproduction. Okay. Asexual reproduction, it is a type of reproduction at which new individual will be made from one parent. يعني I have like one starfish. You know starfish, right? Okay. This is a starfish. After a while, this starfish, okay, will divide itself or it will form, okay, one more identical, then two identical, then three identical, and so on. If you see all of the new offspring exactly identical to their parent, and all of these new individual came from one parent. You got my point? Hmm? So here, sexual reproduction, the individual can make new individual, okay, which are identical to it alone. You understand it or not? So asexual reproduction, it is a type of reproduction at which new offspring will be formed from only one parent. And all offsprings are identical to each other and identical to their parent. You got my point? Hmm? Okay, so when the new individual or the offspring is formed from or produced from one parent, and all offspring are all offsprings are identical to each other and identical to their parent. This is the asexual reproduction. I will come back to it to see the advantage and disadvantage, but let me define the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is different. It needs two parents. Usually, two parents are needed, not always. Two parents may be needed because the sexual reproduction may happen with one parent, and I will tell you how. Two parents may be needed, right? Sexual reproduction, it came when fusion of two gametes, or let's say two nuclei of two gametes. Right? Gametes. يبقى fusion of two nuclei of two gametes. To form zygote. Oh, I said here fusion of two nuclei Two nuclei, I know. I know about the two nuclei. What is the meaning of nuclei? It is the plural of one nucleus, right? Okay. طيب, what about gametes? What is the meaning of the word gamete? What is the meaning of the word zygote? So here I need two parents, or at least I must have two gametes, right? And the nuclei of these gametes will form together to form a zygote, and from the zygote, new individual will be formed. Okay? طيب. Let me explain first what is the meaning of the word gamete, what is the meaning of the word zygote, then I will explain again the definition one more time. طيب. Let me ask كده, what is gametes? Gametes are haploid cells. Gametes are haploid cells. What is the meaning by haploid cells? Haploid cells, they are the cells which have one set of chromosomes. What is the meaning of one set of chromosome or two set? Let me, okay, tell you the story of the formation of human being example. Now, okay, we to be found or to create, okay, there are cells, there are cells, okay, called me, okay, six cells, which is called gamete, okay, to form I'm sorry for this connection. I was saying that, okay, for production we need two sex cells called gametes. Okay, we need two sex cells called gamete, and this gamete will be formed one from the father, one from the mother. Okay, during the reproduction, okay, this gamete from the father and this gamete from the mother will be fused together to form new cells called zygote. Hi, okay. As human, Our normal body cells have 46 chromosomes. Type, okay. From all human, their cells have 46 chromosomes. Old generation, new generation, يعني all my body cells have 46 chromosomes. Or my sons and daughters have 46 chromosomes exactly like me. That's why we are individual in the same species. طيب, let's imagine that this cells, which is the father gamete, okay, have 46 chromosomes, and the mother gamete also will have 46 chromosomes, right? If this one has 46 and that one also have 46, if these two fuse together here, the new zygote supposed to have 92, and this never happened. Otherwise, each generation there will be duplication of the genetic information, so the land or the earth have to fill with joints, not human beings, not people like us. So, according to that, this gamete supposed to have half of the number of chromosome or half of 46. You got my point? So this one's supposed to have 23. This one's supposed to have also 23. When they will be fused together, new zygote will be formed to be 46 chromosome. Is it clear? Type. If the cell will have one set of chromosome like 23, it's called haploid cell. And if the cell has two sets of chromosome, right? One from the mother and one from the father, okay? We call this cell diploid. يعني the zygote is diploid cell. But the gamete are haploid cell. So what is the difference between the zygote and gamete? I will tell you. The zygote, as I said now, has two sets of chromosomes, one from the father, one from the mother. So when I say diploid cell, I mean, okay, cells that have two complete sets of chromosomes. So it has two sets, two complete sets of chromosomes. Type, what about haploid cell? Two sets, it means what? Okay, two sets, one from father and one from the mother. So this is the meaning of diploid, means double, يعني two sets of chromosome. What about haploid? Okay, one set. Haploid means one set of chromosome. Is it clear? Okay, so when I say sexual reproduction, I will say two gametes, one from the father, one from will be joined together to form zygote. What's the difference between the zygote and gamete? Zygote is diploid cell made by fusion of the nuclei. Pay attention to that. Of the two cells. You understand? Zygote is diploid cell. Gametes are haploid cell. So what is the difference in the meaning of diploid and haploid? Diploid sets which have two sets of chromosome. Haploid, they are the cell which has one set of chromosome. This is Down syndrome, not usual. It's only chromosomal mutation. Yeah, seen. Up to now, are okay? So again, I will go back to the sexual and asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, it's easy. One parent will start to divide to form new individual of the same type, and the new individual will be identical to each other and identical to their parent, as I draw here, right? But in the sexual reproduction, okay, we need two gametes coming from two different parents or from sex organ and female organ, right? And these gametes will be fused together. Their nuclei, sorry, will be fused together to form new diploid cells called zygote. Then growth will start. The zygote will divide itself to form new individual. Okay? Fine. According to these two definitions, before going to details, okay, of the sexual reproduction, which one will cause more variation? Which one the offspring could be different from each other, could be different from their parent. Hmm? يعني if I would like to write here advantage تمام, here I will write sexual reproduction. Okay, وهنا asexual reproduction. What is the advantage of sexual reproduction? What are the advantage of asexual reproduction? Yeah, I will explain now yourselves. Okay. Advantage of sexual reproduction. Yes. Advantage of sexual reproduction is what? Allow variation. How? Because look at myself, look at ourselves كده. I made by two cells fused together, one from the father, one from the mother. So, do your mother identical to your father? No, they are different. So I have two different cells. One came from my father and the other came from my mother, and they fused together to form zygote, right? So this zygote is combination between one set from the father, one set from the mother. Definitely there is variation. This is first point. And during fertilization, 100 millions of sperm is made by the male. And there are many ovum by the female, one of them selected and will be prepared for fertilization. Okay? We don't know which gamete will be fertilized, which gamete will not be fertilized. Second, there is random mating. And there is random fertilization. Okay? And there is random mating as well. So all of that will ensure the variation to occur or not. Hmm? You understand? So superconductor allow variation due to random fertilization and random mating. Okay? And random. Okay? Random fertilization, random mating only. You got my point? We don't know which gamete will be fertilized by which sperm. We don't know which two individuals will be breeded together. Okay? Is it clear for all of you? Hmm? Hi. Asexual reproduction? I wrote it clearly. No variation. How variation will come? No variation because all the individual will be identical from their parent, which is one parent. Okay? Type. In biology also, huh? You have to learn this point. Once I will speak about variation of living organisms, I have to think about adaptation or adaptive feature. You will be able to adapt to the surrounding environment or not. Okay, so here there is adaptation. So here, no adaptation. What does it mean? يعني if the organisms have good characteristic help them to survive in their environment, they always will survive and have the advantage of survival. If the environment changes, for example, from hot to very cold weather, and this plant has only the characteristic to live in hot weather because they reproduce by asexual reproduction. So once the weather become cold, all of these plants will die. No chance. You understand this part? Huh? تمام? So whatever I'm writing here as an advantage for the sexual reproduction, right? It will be reflected here for the asexual reproduction as what? Disadvantage. You understand or not? So I'll write here disadvantage. Fine. There is any other advantage of the sexual reproduction? There is variety, there is more better chance for adaptation or to adapt and survive to their environment. Is it clear? Hmm? Here, no variation, no adaptation. طيب. To the disadvantage of sexual reproduction. Okay, advantage here, it's disadvantage here, and disadvantage here will be advantage here. By what are the disadvantage of the sexual reproduction? Huh? Anyone, if you can help me? Huh? Slow. Needs to parent. Right? Hmm? Not all of the offspring will carry the good characteristic like their parent. Not all. You understand this part? Not all of the springs will have, okay, same good characteristic like their parents, right? You understand this part? Hmm? What else as disadvantage for sexual reproduction? You can share me if you know the answer. Hmm? Fertilization, fusion of the nuclei of two gametes. You got my point? Type. What is the advantage of the um, asexual reproduction here? Faster. Right, so here is faster. Okay. Advantage. All offspring have the good characteristic of their parent. Sorry, the board have something. Have the good characteristic of their parent. You understand it or not? Hmm? Here, large number of everything will be given. You understand this part? Huh? لكن هنا the advantage less number of spring will be given compared to the asexual reproduction. You got my point? So again, sexual reproduction is a type of reproduction at which more individuals will be made from one parent only, and the individual will be identical to each other, identical to the parent. Sexual, no. It is a type of reproduction at which the organism will be made from zygote. Zygote is a fusion of. Okay. So it will give zygote, which is the fusion of the nuclei of two gametes. تمام. What is gamete? Gametes, they are how big means carry one set of the chromosome, one complete of chromosome. The nuclei of these two cells will fuse together to form new cell called zygote, which came back to be the diploid cells, which has two sets of chromosomes. You got my point? If I would like to discuss the advantage and disadvantage of each one. Okay. Bye. You have a doubt about that? Hmm? Function, allow variation, allow adaptation, allow also we can say evolution. None of these will be given by the sexual reproduction. All of these considered to be disadvantage. Here, no variation, no adaptation. تمام? Disadvantage of the sexual reproduction is low, need two parents, need all offspring. Not the offspring have the same good characteristic like parent, right? You understand this part? Huh? The one who's asking about sexual, asexual, ethically, asexual reproduction, no mating, no mating. Yeah, sexual energy. Sexual reproduction needs more energy than asexual reproduction. They have to look for partner, and this advantage here. Okay, they have to look for partner, is it clear for all of you? Hmm? تمام. Here it takes longer time. That's why it's slow. تمام. Okay, so here we have to add one point. They have to look for partner, right? Here no partner is needed. It happen only one parent is enough. Is it clear for all of you? Hmm? You understand this part? Is it clear for all of you? If it's fine, okay, raise your hand and give me one more doubt if you would like me to explain. Okay. No more doubts you need? Hmm? Fine. Let's go to example of asexual reproduction. Yes, Motaz, you are raising your hand. Do you remember the tuber of potato? This is potato tuber. If I will put it in water, تمام, this tuber will start to grow. This, any of these eyes, this called the eye, which is responsible for reproduction or has germinated cells, will start to grow. This is root part. Okay, with the time, this tuber will decrease and more longer stem and more huh, deeper root. Yeah, sorry, I was disconnected. I was adjusting the internet. I was saying now the potato tuber, when I put it in the soil, these eyes, which have the germinative cells which can divide to form new plant, it will start to grow to make root and stem. Okay, then leaf will start to be formed. There will be here leaves. تمام. Okay, then this leaves, when its number will increase, right? It will start to make the process of photosynthesis, and starch will be formed, and it will be stored here in underground stem to form new tuber. So these are new tuber. So here from one tuber, which is the potato tuber, many new tuber are formed. You got my point? Huh? Okay. This is asexual reproduction. And pay attention, this part, huh, also connected to the source and sink, right? So here, the tuber is the source. And this root and this new stem is the sink. This is the source. But later, this one becomes the source, and the new tuber is the sink where food is made, here where food is utilized and stored. Is it clear for all of you? Hmm? You got it? طب, what we should learn about reproduction? We should know the definition of each one, advantage and disadvantage of each one. Okay? This is about sexual and asexual reproduction. Then we will give some example of asexual reproduction. We had spores. It is a method of reproduction used by ferns in plants or fungi. This example of asexual reproduction. And we will go to the sexual reproduction. We will handle two parts: sexual reproduction in plants and sexual reproduction in human. Is it clear for all of you? Hmm? Okay. So the one who's asking about sexual and asexual reproduction, is it clear now? Hmm? New tuber. So these are new tuber.